So now the next activity 6.4 shows that why it is essential for a substance to reach the ignition temperature to burn. That in this activity what we have to make two paper cups by folding a sheet of paper like that. Clear? Pour about 50 ml of water in one of the cups. There is the water. Heat both the cups separately with a candle. What do you observe? So what we can expect? One is wet paper, that is it is going to have water in it, and second is totally dry one. What happens to the empty paper cup? What happens to the paper cup with water? Does water in this cup become hot? So according to the concept of the ignition temperature, in case of the paper which is empty, it should start burning very easily because of the lesser temperature. If we continue heating the cup, we can even boil water in the paper cup. Can you think of an explanation for this phenomenon? Heat supplied to the paper cup is transferred to water by the conduction. So in the presence of water, the ignition temperature of paper is not reached. Hence it doesn't burn. The substances which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire with a flame are called inflammable substances. Clear? So in this activity, that here in this cup of paper there is the water. The heat supplied here is used for the process of the conduction of the heat from paper to heat is transferred to the water, that will start absorbing heat and gets warm. But in this case, the amount of heat energy, that is amount of heat released due to the flame, is used by the piece of paper to burn. Because of that, in case of the dry piece of paper, the ignition temperature is low. We are not having any other material which will going to affect the ignition temperature of this cup of paper. So here we can see easily burning takes place. Here, because of the conduction, this cup of paper will not going to show burning. Clear? So paper, we can say that is the, because of very low ignition temperature, will burn very easily. So here the substances which have very low ignition temperature and can catch fire easily with a flame are called inflammable substances. Example of inflammable substances are petrol, alcohol, liquefied petroleum gas, and you can mention all those type of the substances which are very volatile. So that type of the substances are inflammable substances. That are all the volatile fuels are the examples of inflammable substances. So next topic is how do we control fire? You must have seen or heard of the fire breaking out in homes, shops and factories. If you have seen such an accident, write a short description in your notebook. And this is the small activity that you have to try by yourself from your experiences, and what you can do at the time of the fires. So find out the telephone number of a fire service in your area. If a fire breaks out in your house or in your neighborhood, the first thing to do is to call the fire service. It is important that all of us know that the telephone numbers of the fire services, so we can easily make a call if any type of mishappening takes place. So does your city, town have a fire brigade stations? When a fire brigade arrives, what does it do? It pours water on the fire. Water cools the combustible material so that its temperature is brought below its ignition temperature. That you have seen in the last activity when we are using the water in the cup of paper. So this prevents the fire from spreading. Water vapors also surround the combustible material, helping in cutting off the supply of air. So fire is extinguished. So you have learned that there are 3 essential requirements for producing the fire. So what are these requirements? Fuel, air and heat. 3 things we need: fuel, which has to burn; air, in the presence of air fuel will going to burn; and heat is required to initiate the process of the burning. So fire can be controlled by removing one or more of these requirements. If we cut the supply of heat, then automatically the fire will going to stop. The job of a fire extinguisher is to cut off the supply of air or to bring down the temperature of a fuel, or sometimes both are done at the same time. Notice that the fuel in most cases cannot be eliminated. If, for instance, a building catches fire, then we can't took that building from that place. It is very difficult and we can't imagine it. Clear? So the whole building is acting as a fuel in that case. So we have to try to extinguish the fire at that place. So we can do it by cutting the supply of the oxygen, or by bringing the ignition temperature of that substance very low at that time. So up to this topic, I hope you have understood this chapter. The next topic is the types of the combustion. We will continue in our next lecture. Thank you.